Hey guys, it's Calaglow here, and today I just wanted to give a little bit of a talk about some things that I'm feeling with Valorant and some things I've been kind of noticing lately. One of those things being like the amount of people that are just like griefing and quitting games has been honestly insane lately. I feel like it's definitely out of proportion than what I've been seeing in the past. And my theory is that it's stemming from just the state of the game right now. And I think Valorant's just in a really weird state. It's like nothing they do feels as important as it was to me, like maybe like a year ago. A year ago, I was watching Pro Scene, like I was doing all that stuff, right? And maybe I just don't care about the game as much anymore, which I probably don't. But I just like feel like the game itself has really set itself up to not want to be as cared about. And what I mean by that is basically, one, the game just does not punish people how I feel like they should be punishing people. There's people that get away with just the most incredible things. Like, people have realized that if you run it down in a game, or you just claim that you're lurking in order to, like, grief a game, everyone knows how to get around getting banned in this game now. And that has honestly made the amount of people that grief games significantly higher. Because the MMR system sometimes punishes people and locks people into certain ranks. It makes it really hard for you to climb out, because you'll be like getting a really close game and then you win and you get a plus 16. And then you play the next game, your teammates are absolutely dog, and you just get whomped, even though you did fine, and you get minus 22. So some people feel like they're being stuck in a rank. That makes them kind of cynical. Makes them a little angry that they're there. They feel like they should be doing better or being in a higher rank, which they probably should be. But what ends up happening is they end up getting cynical, they get angry, and then they just take that out and lash out against other people, right? That's been like the entirety of my experience lately. And I think it's just starting to culminate a lot heavier nowadays, because it's a twofold thing, right? You can't really just look at the game, you have to also look outside of the game. The world right now, crazy depressing place, right? However, that coupled with being stuck in a rank, you work your 9 to 5, you come home, you feel like you're being cheated in your job, you feel like you're being cheated in your game, it feels like everything's working against you. So what option do you have left? Well, it seems like your option really is to just kind of be a dick towards other people. Just lash out, be angry at the world, be angry at the game, and it makes for just some of the most toxic people you'll ever come across. And so, what I'm saying is there's a lot of solutions to this issue. Some of them are like way more unaccomplished, like you cannot achieve those if you like put your mind to it as just one person. But like as just a company for Valorant, without trying to change the state of the world, because obviously like Riot Games isn't going to be able to go onto the world stage and be like, stop being angry at each other, and then everyone's going to be like, oh my god, Riot, our god, yes, I'll stop. No, everyone's just going to fuck you, Riot. So for them, it's either they need a better system, I feel, for tracking when somebody's actually just intentionally griefing a game. And there's a lot of like AI algorithm stuff that you can do. Like you could train a machine to do like deep machine learning and analyze like a player throughout a game and how they at some point could have a pivot in which they just mental boom and just start running it down. It would be super probably easier to do it that way rather than just implementing hard things. Because sometimes, because you don't want the system to catch people that aren't responsible. It's better to have more false negatives where somebody didn't get banned that should have got banned than more false positives where somebody got banned that shouldn't have got banned. Like, if you just have a bad game, you shouldn't get banned because the system thinks you're griefing. I understand that that could be a huge issue, and you definitely don't want to do that because then people are going to be like, oh, okay, so I can't even have a bad game without getting banned, which is honestly just not good. But there's been plenty of times where I didn't get like a player feedback report or anything for somebody that said, I'm lurking the rest of the game, good luck, or something like that. And then they just were never seen, and they got all of their kills after our whole team was dead and Spike was down on a site, you know? Or they just stopped using their utility entirely. Like, your controller just stopped smoking for you, so you can't even get into site. So, honestly, it just needs to be a better system. I think the only way you really could do it is with coupling their text or their voice with what they're doing. Because if they just say, like, I'm running it down, and then proceed to die, like, 20 times over the next, like, 20 rounds, you probably have a better reason for that report to be not a false positive, rather than just, like, being like, hey, if you die X amount of times without, like, getting a kill, you're griefing. Like, which, low-key, is a little true. It's not intentionally griefing, though. It's unintentional. I do that sometimes. But, yeah, I think it's just, what it comes down to as a player, it's definitely really hard to overlook. It's very difficult to sit there and watch your entire team blow up at each other, and you're just trying to be a mediator. You're like, all right, let's calm down. All right, it's okay. We'll get him in the next round. And I've lost so many games to just a couple people mental booming on the team that freak out. I can't do this no more. And then they just stop playing. They stop trying. So definitely think that there just has to be a transition from, like, there has to be some sort of change. I hate being somebody who brings up problems without solutions, but this one's definitely a solution, like a solutionless problem for me, because I'm not entirely sure how I like would want this to be fixed. Probably something along the lines of taking more accountability for griefing, like increasing the like technology for recognizing when somebody's griefing. It's probably my best outcome for this. However, I don't think that changes the core of the issue, which is people are just mad, right? And I think that also has to do with the fact that the MMR system sometimes can be a little bit too rough on certain players. Like, I'm all for, woe is me, because, I'm getting trapped in Ascendant right now. But, in all fairness, a lot of those games are my fault, so I'm not one of the people that are like, oh my god, I'm literally only here because of the MMR system. I'm here because of me and the MMR system. It's not just one thing. But there are people who are stuck. There is actually a lot of people who are stuck because of a little bit of them and a lot of the MMR system. So I think just a slight rework on that, and maybe a bit more often of MMR refreshes, like a hard reset, might be a better idea. Because I'm not going to lie, as much as I hated when they hard MMR resetted like a bit ago, and you had like professional players playing with like plats, that's just funny. Like, you gotta admit, it's just a little funny. Because it's like, I thought it was a great time. I was just getting, shit on by Radiance, but like, I didn't care. I was like Diamond at the time, and I was just chilling. But at the same time, at the end of the day, it just has to be like a bit more from Riot to make people more invested, whether that be more like community events or like a special event on the game, it just a little bit more to involve a community, because right now I hate the Valorant community. I was in it for a little bit, realized that I did not like a lot of the people, and then pulled out, right? And I can talk about the Valorant community another time, but for right now, I'm just going to keep it at that. You'll hear me talk about it every once in a while, but I will make a video on how much I despise the Valorant community. But creating more of a sense of community definitely can be very proactive for your game. Special events, you know, all of that stuff, like holiday themes or like stuff like that, like a holiday skin, because this game feels like it operates outside of traditions and customs of like certain nations and stuff like that. So like, it's a weird way to phrase it, like just like a couple different things, like if you are a country that celebrates Christmas, just like a little Christmas charm or something like that, or like, you know, into the winter season having things be snowy and stuff like that. You know, Overwatch does that, and that's one of their only things I actually really like. Overwatch is such a shit show, but I will say that I do like their themes. And their themes, like when you come into the game and there's like a new, like, you hear like the Christmas like song and stuff like that when you open like the game, like the bells going and stuff like that. Or like in Halloween, like everything's like horror themed and stuff like that. They release like Dia de Muertos stuff. I'm like, this is so great. So just a little bit more effort by Riot, I think, could really spruce up their game and really recapture like the essence of like a game that is very popular casually and has a very popular competitive scene. Because Overwatch died a lot. I will compare Overwatch to this game because they're pretty similar in some aspects. But, you know, might as well learn from your past so that you can make your future better. Overwatch died a lot because of its pro scene. Blizzard is a bad company, does a lot of bad things, right? Riot is also not the best company. I used to play League of Legends. Hate that game. I'm like 2 years sober, by the way. But like, they really just have to like make the game feel more. This is also something I had an issue with in League of Legends. Like, there's special events. They will like do them like as a once-off or something like that. Then they'll never touch it again. You know? So it feels like a lack of effort, and it's like, why do, you know, if you're just gonna play the same game loop every single day, it gets repetitive, monotonous, and then that's how people start getting cynical. Adding little things to spruce up the game and make it seem more dynamic, it adds a lot of flow to the game, which creates this instead of this. So, you know, we're not talking about this or this. No, I'm kidding. But, yeah, it creates more flow to the game. It doesn't make the game loop feel so circular, and making it feel more like the game has like back and forth, highs and lows. That's how you create dynamic games. And I think Riot just has to improve a little bit on that, and also like they're like getting rid of or cracking down on some toxicity. They did just recently crack down on a lot of Smurfs, which is huge. Thank them for that, because I think they banned like damn near like 1 million Smurfs or something like that. It was crazy. Like, it was like a mass ban. So honestly, them doing that has really improved my view on Riot. However, there's still a long way to go. And right now, one of the biggest things is the toxicity piece that I was talking about. So that's about it. It's just a weird ramble that I had. I just kind of wanted to share. This video is probably going to have like very minimal editing, because a lot of this was just like stream of conscious. I didn't write any notes down or anything. I just wanted to express how I was feeling about certain things. So with that, end the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.